Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of the I'm Not a Hater podcast featuring your favorite not hater, Mr. Brown. Here I am with another episode this summer. Basically talking about the new big beautiful mega bill and just some of my thoughts about that, some of my thoughts about family, um, and then just a little um, piece of positivity or something to make you think before I end the entire episode. Probably won't be a long episode, like I always tell you. I don't believe in keeping you held hostage at a screen for too long. I do want you to get in, get what you're going to get from it, and keep it pushing. That is one of my things that I definitely prefer. So I'm that type of person. So I'm going to give that back to you as well. Basically, I want to thank everybody that has been asking me when's the next podcast. So here I am giving you another episode. I definitely appreciate it because it's giving me the courage to continue. I did have a moment, did have a brief spell where I felt like I was gonna stop. I wasn't gonna keep going, or I would just every now and then pop up. But because people have been asking me where the episodes are, I'm gonna keep going, keep coming up with concepts. But if you do have any concepts that you would like to hear about or like to hear me talk about, please let me know. If you see me out, just approach me, tell me what it is, and I'll try to get that episode done for you. Um, yeah, so basically, let's jump right into it. This mega bill that was just passed a couple days ago, maybe like a week ago, or big beautiful bill is hardly that. It is a total overall disaster when you look at it. For definitely for the groups that are, I would say like the disabled and the elderly and children, are definitely facing some deficits coming up in these next couple years when it actually rolls out, right? Um, but in truth, I have to be honest, I have to be truthful. There are some things that I agree with. Now, unfortunately, of course, right? I don't agree with the whole thing. I don't agree with everything. So before you come for me and want to crucify me in comments or anything like that, I don't agree with everything that this bill says. Actually, pretty much none of it. But there is one thing that I agree with because there's one thing that I see often that I want to have stopped on a whole, right? So I do agree that to continue to obtain SNAP benefits, those people who are able-bodied should continue or should work for them, right? Because they're not. I think I read that they're not asking you to work a full-time job, maybe 20 to I think they said 80 hours a week. Now, when you break it down, 20 hours, that's like 4 hours a day. That's a part-time job. You can there's part-time jobs everywhere. You can find one. I do agree with that. If you're able bodied, that means somebody that has working limbs that can um, get up and down and do the job. I do not agree with a senior citizen who has worked and given this country their blood, sweat, and tears having to actually do that same thing and be verified in order to keep SNAP benefits and Medicaid and things like that. But people who sit around and don't do anything daily, I definitely feel like they can get up and they can do something um to help themselves. And with that, if they continue to see that it's better for them to continue to do things like that, that they ultimately would find a way to get off of the benefits and join the force like the rest of us. It's a claw dog eat dog society. But why am I working twice as hard for you and you sitting around all day doing nothing? That's really what grinds my gears about people. You able-bodied and able to get up and do things, but yet you'll sit around and collect these benefits while somebody like me has to struggle daily to get up, go to work, come home, millions and millions of dollars of taxes being taken out your check, and you have to deal with that. And they basically just tell you to put up with it. So no, I do agree. Those people who can should get up and work and get off of those benefits that aren't really helpful to you anymore. Now, if you have children and you need the SNAP benefit helps, I still believe that you could um, get up and work at least part-time job to keep those benefits. I just feel like that's the least you could do in this type of situation. I may get some flack for it, but hey, I do agree with that part. Now the rest of it is doing damage to um, everybody who works hard every day is doing damage to the middle class, right? But in my lifetime, what I've noticed and remembered over time, the middle class has always been affected by these parties in one way or another. They're always either cutting something for the middle class, taking something for the middle class, or making the middle class that much harder. And coming from a middle class society, middle class family, I haven't seen an increase yet, or something that would make me feel like, yeah, they both sides are trying to help the middle class. I just don't see it. Now, if you know something or you see something, let me know, because I don't see where the middle class has ever been benefited by anything that either of these parties have ever done. And that's just my honest take. Now, again, like I said, if you have been through this longer than I have, if you've seen the middle class rise, let me know. But I personally don't see it. And that's just how I feel. Now, my advice for people that are going to go through this mega bill deficit or whatever the case is, start saving your money now. Start putting up money, nest egg, whatever you got to do under your mattress. If you feel like the bank isn't the best thing for you, whatever you got to do, stay the course. Don't do wild things like quit your job, be on unemployment. Don't do any of that, because you quit your job, now you in the boat with the people that I just talked about before, who don't do anything. They just sit around and do nothing all day, and that is not going to work for you. Stay the course. Stay at your job. Try to find more work if you can or need to. You may not like that, but it'd be helpful for you. Call your congressman. Let them know to keep fighting. A lot of times they tap out because they feel like, oh, we don't, once it's passed, we just give up hope and don't care anymore. But keep contacting them, keep letting them know, keep up the fight, and try to get the federal judges in these states to block these things from happening. I know that at one point these things were being blocked left and right. Just continue to encourage them to do so, because the more the stuff gets blocked, and then I hear that at the next midterm, these people are very upset now. They got duped. They got played. These people are going to vote, and the House may turn Democrat, and that'll be perfect to stop all this nonsense and all this foolishness that is currently happening on a day-to-day with President Trump. Unfortunately, you need that House. You need Congress. You need all those things to flip. You need them to flip to blue and not red. So, again, like I told you before, voting for the presidential election, it doesn't start in Washington. It starts in your home states, in your cities. Don't take voting as a joke. Don't take it as something that you just do just because, but take it really seriously. And if you agree with what President Trump is doing, then vote for President Trump and his people. If you don't agree with it, then obviously vote the other side. And if you agree with neither side, then write in the candidate that you best feel fits what you want the country to look like. Okay, and that's my spiel on that. Now I'm gonna pivot. I want to talk about something that's equally as important, right? I'm talk about family. As I spent time with families over the last couple weeks, there are some things that I have learned over the last couple weeks from being at family reunions, and I guess you could say like family cookouts and things like that, right? So the first thing that I've learned over these last couple weeks is that the elders hold all the information. Okay, so that may be like the greats, your great aunt, your great grandmother, your great uncle, etc., etc. They hold all the information. They know all the stories. They know who's related to who. They know all that information, right? So it's important for people in the next generations to soak up that information, because once those people transition, there go the stories, there go the information, there goes the people that know the entire family tree, right? So it's important when they talk, listen, it's your history, first of all, and it's your responsibility, whether you want it or not, it's your responsibility to know that history, okay? Next, show up to the cookouts and the reunions. Now, this goes for me too, right? I'm notorious for saying that, and I love all my family, no matter near or far. I love my family. I don't always show up for everything. I got to do better with that my own self. So show up to the cookouts and the reunions so you can meet everybody. For many reasons, we don't show up. Whether it's internal, we got beef with cousin so and so, or my sister, or brother, etc., whatever. Um, but I'm gonna challenge you. I'm gonna challenge you to show up to your next family reunion. Be a part of the family. Get to know the people you don't know, the cousins from the west side, or the cousins from up north or down south, or whatever the case is. Get to know them. Know your family. That's also important. You get involved with somebody you thinking, oh, it's cute, and the reason why y'all so compatible is y'all second cousins, and then you got to end it because ew, that's disgusting, and it is. It's nasty. It's incest. Um, but it also gives you a chance when you at these cookouts and reunions. It also gives you a chance to reconnect with the people that you already know, build those stronger bonds, and then add in people and get those people involved just as well. Um, like I said, I went to a family reunion in Georgia 2 weeks ago, and I had a great time. Um, you know, didn't do a lot, just kind of chilled out. But to hear the stories and see the laughter and of course the food, right? And do all that good stuff and spend time with family, it was a great experience. And sign me up every year. I'll be there. And then I went to a cookout, a family cookout, and I'm hoping that that can grow into some sort of reunion type situation. Because I did as a kid, like I went to a lot of reunions, got a lot of T-shirts as a kid, but now as an adult, like we having reunions on Facebook because that's where you're meeting everybody. I swear to you, I met majority of um I'll just go ahead and say it. I met the majority of my dad's family through Facebook. Um, I'm hoping that one day, like I said, we can have a reunion. I know it's difficult to plan that type of stuff, and people have their own thoughts, and you can't really get. But if you get a solid group of people together, even if it's just a small thing like a meet and greet um, situation, like those things are important too. So everybody knows what everybody is and where they come from, and all those type of stories, and all that stuff that gets passed on. It's all important. But show up. If you're not there, you ain't gonna know. So that's the first. That's like the next thing. Show up. Lastly, what I've learned, and this is over time, right? Because obviously, um, the family you create is just as important as the family you come from, and they need just as much attention and care as those people you come from. Because ultimately, the family you create is your legacy. That's what's going to be mentioned way before the people that you come from, and you want to have a legacy that's worth talking about. So pay attention to, you know, your kids and your husband, your wife, etc. And do the things that's necessary to fertilize that section of your family so it grows and that tree continue to grow and have its own branches. And then one day you'll sit at the top and be the grandpop and the grandma, or the mima, whatever it may be, and you'll be the one with the stories to pass down to your kids and your grandkids one day. But it all starts with you taking care of that family and continuing to make them a priority. Your family that you come from, they're always going to be there. They're going to love you. But when you create a new family, that is your focus. That becomes your solid focus. And you should give them the attention and the respect that they deserve at all times. And that's, like I said, I've been around families. I've seen it, even with my own family. Um, and like I said, I enjoyed being around family and all that stuff. And it reminded me um, that my mom was big on family, my grandfather, etc. They made sure you knew who you was related to, told you about them, gave you names and historical reference points and all that good stuff. So I enjoyed the reunions as a kid. Didn't really do too much. I mean, I did a lot of playing with my cousins and stuff, but now as adults, we are all spaced out all over the country. But we do, and they do have reunions, and I need to be better about attending them. And I'm rambling at this point, but it's true. I do need to be better about attending them, especially since my mom passed away. She was my what do you call it? She was like my inclusion. Like she let me know what was happening, what was going on. So I do need to be better about knowing what's happening in the family as well. other than just being on Facebook and stuff like that. But you know, you get better over time as you work through it and work on it. But in final words, always remember you are blessed to be able to love people and give love to people. So if you have someone that you love or have people that you say that you love, use that action word of love and show them exactly how much you love them. With that being said, it's your favorite not hater, Mr. Brown, signing off. It's peace and love. I wish you nothing but the best. And thank you for tuning in to another episode.